to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to advise those present that notice of this regular meeting of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken has been provided to the public in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting of Thursday, October 9, 2025 was given by publication of the annual meeting notice of the authority, with amendments as necessary, was sent to the Star Ledger on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and was sent to the City Clerk of Hoboken on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, with a copy of the agenda to be posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, Hoboken Library, and Hoboken Police Department, and posted on the authority website on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. I direct the minutes of this meeting to state that I have announced that adequate notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Before we start, I'd just like to announce that we are starting I want to say a new way of, how can I put it? How do I put it?
New order?
Just
A new order, correct.
enforcement.
Yes, we're starting a new enforcement where the director is going to actually give his report, and I'm asking all commissioners to hold your questions for either unfinished business or new business. That is when the director will answer any questions pertaining to his report or any other question that you may have. If anybody has questions, Reb, I know you're on the phone. I don't know if Jeannie's on the phone. Yeah, you guys can let us know now.
That's the next roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah, and director.
No questions for me, Gary.
David Edwards,
Present.
Anthony Forbes,
Present.
Barbara Reyes,
Present.
Jean Rodriguez. Is Jeannie on?
She's trying to log in, Director. I'm helping her right now. Angel, can you help her out, please? I'm sending her the link again.
We'll mention when she gets on. James Sanford, Erica Seitzman,
Present.
Carmen Vega.
Present.
Your report?
All right, welcome everyone. I think I'd like to open the meeting by saying how proud we are of Fox Hill. I mean, you guys have done so much here, and just to see the Halloween stuff, and for those of you that don't know all of the stuff that's going on with all of the residents here, everyone chips in, and it's looking great. So thank you all for doing what you do. So as we know, the government shut down, right? So all of that's going on. HUD has announced that at least through the first weeks of November, we will continue to receive our subsidy as usual. And in addition to that, we do have a good pot of reserves. So we're in business. Don't worry. You know, the government shut down, but we're not directly the federal government. We are a nonprofit that runs the housing authority. So we're still in business, and unless this thing were to go on for a real extended amount of time, you know, our subsidy continues to come in and we continue to do business. So don't worry, we're good. We've got it covered from there. You know, we will be in full operation. It's going to be tough at times. The new national budgets give us quite a bit of cuts, but you know, they haven't been able to agree on a budget. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do on a budget when they do agree. With staff, it's been a busy month with training, laying groundwork for our redevelopment, keeping track of national funding, those issues, and planning for our next fiscal year. We did attend the Governor's Housing Community Development Conference. These conferences are even more important now that we're in a time of such flux nationally. This gives us an opportunity to catch up with the state funding opportunities and legislative trends, to meet the actual people that run the state programs and learn about what's the latest, the vendors, While important on many issues, probably the most important thing for us right now is contact with the Housing Mortgage Finance Agency staff. They are aware of our redevelopment project, and we continue to talk to them about that. The word is that there will be an increase in availability of tax credits, but they may not be as effective in the past. So the good news is, for our redevelopment, is that they've opened up some doors for more tax credits, which will be important as we redevelop. But the prediction is that middle-income workforce housing may be a little more difficult with our vision to expand into that area. But we'll work closely with our development partner, RPM, on forecasting our eligibility. As we get through this coming year, we'll have more news on that as we move forward. And probably a little more news when we get to our redevelopment section of my report. We also attended the National Housing Conference, September 27th to October 1st. The overriding concern nationally is the need for an approved budget, or at least a continuing resolution from Congress to let us know where we stand. However, it's clear that the proposals out of the legislature are skinny budgets either way for public housing. We need to keep contacting our senators, our congressmen, let them know that public housing is important. We're not the sexiest program on the national scene, right? Defense and healthcare, all these things you hear about. How about us, right? How about us? And for them to continuing to turn to us and say, here's another 10% cut, that has real ramifications on how many times a year we can strip the floors and paint the buildings and do all of that, right? So let's keep pushing in that direction. There is some consternation concerning a possible HUD move to recapture reserves from housing authorities, which would be a real shame. There's no formal announcement yet. However, HUD has released some preliminary guidance on a new cash management system that Fada, Naro, and I believe is grossly unfair to housing authorities. We really view it as a way of backdoor of attacking our reserves. As more guidance comes out on that, we will be talking to you, but nonetheless, it's real, and they're making that move. So far, HCV Section 8, which includes the basic funding for Fox Hill, is stable, but a new budget could change much of that. Anything to add to that, Commissioner? Anything? Oh, okay, that's right. He just asked for questions, not comments. Okay, mayoral debate. I'm really proud to announce that with the help of Chairwoman Reyes and Erica and the rest of the board, we're sponsoring a Housing Authority mayoral debate that the Housing Authority is sponsoring. And we will be doing that mayoral debate at Connors School, right across from 221 Jackson, on October 28th. So we'll have all the candidates there. This debate coming shortly before Election Day gives all of our Hoboken residents an opportunity to hear from the candidates. So we do invite all of Hoboken, but it's in our backyard, right? And it's important that we, as many housing folks as possible, can attend. We'll give our residents an historic chance to ask questions and evaluate our candidates on issues that affect all of us and promote the quality of life for those that least can afford it. That's important for us. The debate will be moderated by Peter Biancamano, the host executive producer of The Pulse with Peter B. on Hoboken Cable Access and Roku, Amazon Fire. We will be live streaming the event through our Facebook page, so pay attention to that if you can't make it down. In addition, there'll be a special presentation of a highlight reel of the debate on Mr. Biancamano's show on Sunday, November 2nd. So even if you were to miss the actual debate, there'll be a follow-up on November 2nd, which again is right before the election, so it's a good time to tune in. I encourage all of our residents and all of Hoboken to join with us. On Hoboken Housing Forward, our development initiative, We have again made significant progress in moving Hoboken housing forward again this past month. A number of meetings have been held with the developer, with city officials. The main focus this past month has been setting up appropriate limited partnership with RPM to place us on solid ground as we move forward. We can expect that the joint partnership will be finalized in the very near future, like very near. Once established, that joint partnership will be able to make the Housing Authority a development entity, which we've never crossed before. So one of my messages here for everyone is that if you remember the strategic planning process and all of the outreach and the community meetings, we've been kind of a quiet phase, and we've been working behind the scenes, getting everything together. As 2026 comes, you're going to see us coming back with more public meetings, with probably some charrettes, some meetings at each of our sites to keep everyone apprised of where we're going. Once we get the partnership finalized, we do apply to the city to be approved as the developer for our main campus area. Once that is done, we start to go out and hire the architects, start to look to finalize funding and move in that direction. We see that happening in the first half of 2026, and we want you all to be involved in that process. So as you saw in the strategic plan, we're going to be coming out to you for your input as we move forward on that. Anything else, Mr. Merchant?
No, you covered it.
Okay.
No, Director, that was pretty much where we are. What I did want to say is I want to let everybody know that while we stand here in front of you as a group of people that work at the Housing Authority, behind us the team is so big. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge all those people that work alongside with us throughout this process, because the truth of the matter is that without them we really couldn't do the things that we do. So I wrote it down because I didn't want to miss anybody. So we are grateful for the ongoing support that we get, number one, from you guys, the board, and from our residents, because that's where it all started. That was the first step. We made sure that we were coalesced along on a dream together on what we're looking to accomplish. And once we got that together, we had to reach out to other groups of people. And who those people are is what I want to talk about. So first of all, we have our folks at HUD in Newark. By the way, we have a new director, Director Chu. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you here in Hoboken soon, because we would love to brag on what we have going, and I think that it's important that you see it firsthand. So I will be sending a direct invitation to Director Chu to come down here. But before Director Chu got there, Howard Comey was an excellent friend to the authority. He came here, he saw the value in what we're doing. He and his team, and Kwa and Jennifer Williams, and the folks that we work with here at HUD, and now our new friend John Ardovini from the HUD Resource Desk, who has again initiated the TA for us that comes through Enterprise, and more specifically we're working with Mike Andrews from Structure, who is now going to help us with this. As the director said, the next step is to work on the lasagna, the financial lasagna, because money comes from different places, and you have to stack it to cover what you need to make it done. So, but besides that, our internal team, we have Harold Fitzpatrick, that alongside with our executive team and the director and Emil, at every meeting, we're always brainstorming and looking for ways to make sure that we're covering all the holes and making this as bulletproof as possible, because this is the foundation for the next several steps. In the city of Hoboken, as we are talking about the redevelopment, there's also this possibility about Second and Marshall. Both sides, the city, the authority, are entertaining the possibility of the Housing Authority somehow obtaining that property. There are some steps. The will is there. And the folks who are making that happen from the city is Joanne Voss, Jessica Giorgiani, Kathleen Wolf, Chris Brown, Joseph Maraziti, Jennifer Gonzalez, and Caleb Stratton. it really takes a village. And one thing that we're learning about, and people who develop in Hoboken know, that the soil is something that is important, and it's a very important step of any redevelopment. So we're going to be reaching out to, putting out an RFP to get LSRP, which is a person who will study the land and make sure that it's up to code, or what it would take to get up to code for residential. So we're working on that. So as you can see, all these folks from all different walks come together with one mission in common, which is to make this project at the Housing Authority be successful. And I believe that we've taken enough time to take every step that had to be taken, that if we just continue the way we're going, as the director said, we should be in shovels on the ground in the first quarter of 27. So all of next year, we'll be working with you, with the residents and the stakeholders, on finalizing the vision, so that now that we're really, really about to put it together, we need your input at the final step. So, thank you for everybody.
Thank you, Frank. Residents first. It's the last thing I'll say about it. Residents first, always, and in this process. Project-based vouchers, we continue to work with American Legion and the Hoboken Community Coalition on getting their stuff in. Resident meetings and meetings with the director, please feel free to continue to put in a request for appointments with me. I will add that the past 30 days have been a little tough. I know we have a little backlog of interviews with me. We try to do them within 2 weeks. But if anyone's out there that hasn't been seen, we're going to really push it the next couple of weeks to get everyone in to see me on one-on-one if you need it. And I always ask, work with your manager, work those issues out, and if you can't do that, we'll come to you, you come to me, and we'll work it out from there. Housing for Hoboken, Fox Hill Management Report, because we are the management entity for this building. Phase 2 of the renovations is with our engineering firm. We actually met with them this week. The installation of the cameras in the elevators are waiting on the CDBG city money to be given to us. We're ready. Once that money, and they're working well with us, but once that money is released to us, the cameras in the elevators here are a go. So it's happening. But we're waiting for the final funding okay on that, the contract. On the replacement of the storm doors and the exterior concrete and balcony work, the final detail is being done by the architect, and we expect to bid that in October. So the two things that we're going to focus on are replacing all the storm doors. So you've got new storm doors, and that's happening, and then we've got that exterior concrete work. We've got some balcony work to do. We know it's coming, that balcony work. And then we've also got a number of places where the concrete might be spalling or might be getting weak. We're going to address those areas with this contract as well. So we're hoping to have that to the November board, maybe December, but we're pushing to have it to the November board if all the bidding goes well and we can get it out. So that's happening, Fox Hill. That's happening. The Fox Hill painting is scheduled to begin this coming week. So we were just talking about that before the meeting. I think it was maybe 6 months ago that we started talking about it, and you made it clear that that was a priority for the Fox Hill community, and it takes some time, but we identified the funding. We managed to work with the board, with our finance committee, with the Housing for Hoboken group, and we identified the funding. Much credit goes to Commissioner Edwards for his work on that, and the painting is going to be starting next week. So we're going to get a good fresh coat of paint throughout the building. And as you know, we're doing the floor stripping on a routine basis. Floors look good, don't they? All right? Floors look good. Good. Say yes at once. Okay. We had a very productive meeting in this room Wednesday, Tuesday. The community here, the officials came and presented their plans from both the city and the county on the redesign of the Willow Avenue traffic corridor in front of Fox Hill. two basic concepts were presented. We made both positive and negative comments on their plans, and I really appreciated the resident input on that. You held them the task. We got them to write our concerns down, also our praises, our goods and bads on what we might want to see tweaked on those plans. But as the planning process moved forward, they do expect a 2028 construction schedule, so there'll still be time to affect their plans, and they've promised to come back as they finish developing their plans. The basic move here is to make Willow Avenue safer. It's a long cross. It's a long cross for folks. Folks coming out of the Walgreens parking lot is an issue. Folks trying to cross on 13th, you got to go to 12th. All types of 13th, got to go to 14th. There's all kinds of problems there. So they're really working to address those issues, and a lot of what I heard I really liked. So not everything, but a lot. So it was a good meeting. Thank you for attending, and thank you for your input. Defensible space at Andrew Jackson is moving along nicely. It's essentially done. We're just waiting on some very final mechanical on that. And again, to remind you, those areas at Andrew Jackson by the playgrounds, toward the back by the horseshoe, that new fencing has gone up. Those are now being opened in the morning, and they're being closed at night. So folks can't get in there and hang out all night. And we've seen a significant difference over there since we made that happen at Andrew Jackson. So I'm really, really happy about what we've seen with that. The courtyard improvements are so close. For those of you that haven't been over to Harrison Courtyard, take a peek, look at our new playground that's in the courtyard. It looks great. It's about 99% complete. We've got still a handicapped access ramp that we're building there, and some fencing to protect the kids. But I'm really excited about that new design over at Harrison. The two old small playgrounds that are adjacent to the smaller parking lot will be removed. We're in process on bidding that out now to remove those and replace that with more of a garden type scene. So the playground area is being moved to the courtyard, and that's a beautiful brand new playground for everyone. Exterior door replacements is essentially complete. I did put complete, but I learned today there was a little glitch on the push bars that they're addressing this week. Our request for bids for a new rodent resistant trash collecting system has been bid and is before the board tonight. So we get an approval tonight. We can start working with the contractor. There's probably something like a 4-month lead time on this equipment. So it's not going to be tomorrow. But no matter where we went, there'd be a lead time. So it's happening. Looking forward to that. Management staff has been consumed with our new Nan McKay initiative, repayment agreements, HUD inspections, and file maintenance. I will note that Ms. Yesenia, our Director of Management, had a personal issue and can't be here tonight. So I'll just go through the report for her. The transfer of our certification and recertification process to Nan McKay has begun. So residents, you will start seeing, if you haven't, some letters from Nan McKay, which is a national recertification organization. They're experts in the field, that they are going to be actually performing recertifications and then getting back with you and with staff and going through that process rather than having those recertifications done in-house by your manager. So we think that that's going to really help on a lot of levels. We've gotten some audit findings on our files on that. That should solve all of that. Our parking initiative has been put in place and has been an overall success. We're open to suggestions from any residents that may have been experiencing issues. We are looking at a couple modifications, particularly for some programs that are operating after hours that folks that might come to those programs have no place to park. And we're talking primarily the main campus here. But we're working on a couple modifications we may well do over the next few weeks. Again, we can't create parking, unfortunately, at any of our elderly disabled buildings. There's only so much space, and we know there's a waiting list for parking. But it comes first come, first serve. You can put on the list, and when somebody gives up a spot, you get the spot. But it's your spot. We have developed and are working with the police on a new trespass initiative for our properties, and we're going to be getting a security committee together this month before our next board meeting, and may well be presenting that policy procedure to you at the next meeting. And our snapshot of the management report in public housing, we've got a 97% occupancy rate, which is great. Again, 5 new lease-ups, 4 transfers, and 3 move-outs. So we are moving on transfers. We move as fast as we can, but there's only so much we can do at a time. At Fox Hill here, we also have a 97% occupancy rate, and we had 4 new lease-ups here in the past month and 1 new move-out. Staff is working on a new housing choice voucher admin plan in public housing, ACOP, and I think that's going to be a 2026 first quarter issue that's going to come to you. Maintenance report, probably the biggest issue right now is you may have noticed some new protective scaffolding along Jackson Street. Know that we're on top of it. We have put up the protective scaffolding so there is no harm to anyone walking by. We did have a portion up around the 6th floor on the side of the building where the facade, not the structural, but the facade brick pulled loose. So we've got the engineer working out a scope of work. We immediately contacted him. He's working out the scope of work. It's about a 15 by 20 foot area. For those of you that don't have a concept of that, when they build a brick building, they build a structure, and then that brick is just a facade. It's like an exterior coating on it. And when that brick goes up, it's tied in to the actual structure of the building with metal tie-ins. Now, after 72 years, right, 72 years, some of that at times winds up with moisture behind it, and some of those metal tie-ins might come loose and rot out. So that's what happened here. Again, no structural damage, but we will be repairing that very, very quickly. I plan, without a doubt, on probably coming back to you next month with the emergency declaration. We don't have final prices yet or a final scope of work, so we're waiting for that to come to you for a retroactive approval on that. But we're not sitting on our hands on that. Our boiler crew has been working hard to assure our systems are running. We've got our boiler systems up the last couple days. I want to just remind everyone, if you've got an issue, call it in. You know, as we go into a new heating system season, sometimes as we start up our heat, sometimes you'll find you might have over the summer a radiator might not be working or something might be bad. Let's call it in. We've got our boiler crews, heating crews on standby. We want to make sure you're warm and comfortable as the cold weather is here. Right? So keep in touch with us if you've got any problems, but we fired things up and we're moving forward. We're in process of our yearly review of needs within our camera system. So we're doing an audit of our camera systems again. I know it just seems every year, but yes, every year. Camera systems are camera systems, and they always need attention. A second round of floor stripping has begun at Monroe, Adams, and Fox Hill. We do have a temporary roof repair going on at 655 6th Street. It's a temporary. It came under the bidding threshold. We will be planning on bidding out a complete new roof over the winter. So we're going to spec that out and bid that up over the winter to have a complete roof replacement as next summer comes around and the bad weather's past us. But we found that it was very economical to do the quick upgrade, the quick repair, and then go on from there. We are taking a look at bringing on a company to be at our side for lighting repair. So we're probably going to bid that out over the next month. You know, when we have a light go out, we call somebody or our staff does it. We find, I think it'll be much more economical to have somebody at our side we can call. We've got a light out here, we've got a light out there, let's get it fixed. Our staff is going through, if you'll remember the HUD inspections that we had. I know inspections, right? But we had them. So for the Inspire inspections that HUD did, we're going through with their standards, we're going through every single unit, and we're having a maintenance crew behind them, all right? So as we go into the unit, we're doing an inspection, having a maintenance crew, fix those issues, then we go on to the next unit, then we go on to the next building, and we go on to the next building. And we're significantly through the Andrew Jackson, and we're going to be doing that procedure at all of our sites. So our goal is that our next HUD inspection next year, that we knock it out of the park. So that's really our strategy toward that. Sammy, does anything you want to say about that, Sammy, since Sammy's leading that charge? I see he's on his iPhone over there. I don't know whether did he fall asleep or is he just muted? I don't know.
Excuse me, Director, I just want to
Yes,
give a compliment to the maintenance crew on the grounds of the HHA. Let me tell you, I drive through regularly, and I'm extremely pleased and impressed with the grounds around the campus. I just want to give a big shout out to the maintenance crew for keeping the grounds up.
Thank you, sir.
I am here. Good evening, everyone.
Sammy,
Can you guys hear me?
anything else? Yeah, anything else on Inspire or your maintenance crew work right now?
Yes, I'm just thankful, and I appreciate, and I am also sorry for the inconvenience of my inspections and the repairs at the times that we're conducting them. But in the previous inspections, I've had residents come up and state, well, you guys do inspections but never fix anything, or never get the time to come and fix it. But at this point, I want to reiterate what the director said. I want to go through my inspection. Once I finish the section, I want to be able to conduct and repair everything necessary. I had to pause for the moment because I didn't want to fall back on my word. I had to pause on the inspections for the Andrew Jackson North until I catch up with all the work that's need to be done on Andrew Jackson 3-story building south. Please be patient with me. And with the Housing Authority, we are working very hard on making sure that all your requests and all the repairs that need to be taken care of will be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate your crew's work. We do ask that residents call into the manager's office with any specific cleaning or repair need. Our consolidated on finance, our consolidated operating budget is attached as attachment 2. This was reviewed by the October Finance Committee, and along with the Finance Committee, we are working on a revised cash management plan for the Housing Authority. And what that addresses is how we handle our investments, how we handle our banking relations, who signs checks, who doesn't. We make sure that everything's going to be in there on how we handle our financial arrangements with other entities. In addition, we continue to work on the procurement committee budget, professional services contracts, and the housing choice voucher budgets. Resident Services Coordinator Becky Espinoza will bring us up to date on resident activities, but as she gets ready to talk, I just want to make a special thing of our trunk or treat coming up on October 25th. We're going to be on 4th between Jackson and Harrison, where the central office is. That's a lot of fun. And we are going to have some special appearances by some circus members, I think, from the Housing Authority. Our annual Winter Wonderland is scheduled for December, so that's coming up too.
December 13th.
December 13th. So bring your hand warmers. and a lot of fun. Becky, do you want to take the floor?
Yes, I actually have a slide prepared for you guys. So Angel, could you start the slide?
You just got to his computer, Becky.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It's ready.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not seeing it on my end, so let me just.
We see it.
All right, I'll work with my hard copy here. So first page, resident services report. Next page.
Ready?
Elderly disabled housing units, activities and events. Starting with Monroe Garden. Bingo Tuesdays at 6,
Next page.
pastoral care.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Pastoral care Fridays at 7, food pantry every other Friday, 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Dr. Purissima, podiatrist, once a month. Pastoral care on Sundays at 9 a.m. Next page. So I have Adams here. We have bingo on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Dr. Purissima, podiatrist, every other month. Fox Hill Gardens, bingo on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pastoral care Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Dr. Purissima, every other month. Movie nights on Fridays at 7 p.m. Band resistant exercise classes, Fridays 10 to 11 a.m. Family housing units, activities and events. For adults, we have bingo at the Annie Forbes Community Room, Fridays at 6 p.m. And at Christopher Columbus Gardens Community Room, Fridays at 7 p.m. For kids, we have 10 Reasons at the 311 Community Room on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Homework help at the Annie Forbes Community Room, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. Karate at the Annie Forbes Community Room, also on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Guitar lessons, Annie Forbes Community Room, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. And we have the fall session of Girls in Gears at the basketball court on Sundays at 9 a.m. What Girls in Gears do is they come in and they teach little girls between the ages of 5 and 7 how to ride a bike. If they don't have a bike or a helmet and pads, they do provide them the equipment for them. Next page. We have upcoming events. The trunk or treat, as Mr. Recco mentioned earlier, we're really excited about this one. We have trunk or treat on October 25th at between 4 and 7. You guys are invited to join in, register your car if you want to decorate your trunk and hand out Halloween candy, or you could just show up and have some fun with all of us. We have maintenance management and the main office participating. We all each have a vehicle that we're decorating. Okay, we have the next page.
It's ready.
Sorry, I think to be missing a page here. We have the debate coming up.
Yeah, that's here.
Yes, that's what's up. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We
That's
see
what's-
it.
Yeah, we see the mayoral debate slide up now.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry about that, guys. So that's happening on Tuesday, the 28th at 7 p.m. at Connor School. We'll be serving light refreshments, coffee, water. So we have that coming up. And then our Winter Wonderland. That's happening on December 13th between 4 and 7 p.m. Next page, past events. We had the motor vehicle come down with their truck, and people were able to do their real IDs, turn in plates and etc. So that was a success. I'm gonna try to get them to come down to maybe Monroe Gardens for folks downtown. And next page. And as Mr. Recco mentioned earlier in his report, we had the resident stakeholders meeting regarding the redevelopment of Willow Avenue. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Becky. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good, and that would conclude my report.
Thank you. Moving forward, we're going to move forward with the public portion. I'd like to remind everyone that you have 5 minutes. I ask that everyone please be respectful of one another. And Commissioner Vega, I saw that you signed up, but is it okay if I call you last?
Sure.
Okay, because you
No
don't need to sign in actually. But we're gonna start with Mr. Muriel, Jorge Muriel.
Could you just spell your name for me?
Jorgemuriel. Okay. I'm Mr. Recco, Councilman Vega, for commissioners. We've been having a little problems in this place. I want to know if this is a boardroom or a community room. You know, because there was a party here a couple of weeks ago, and I was stuck in a gas station with my car broken down. They've been calling me because they wanted to take out some decorations, which they should have told me before when they saw they were there. Plus, we're not supposed to be taking out decoration. That's things that people put up. And the other thing is, the security has got to go. They do nothing but get paid, and that's wasted money. They sit out there, they sit in the kitchen all day long. I don't know who opens the kitchen because I close it before I leave, but they get in there somehow, and I know they don't got keys. So, yes, they shouldn't even show up here, put it that way. And we got the police that comes once in a while. I want to thank them for showing up every day here and looking out for us, because they're the only ones that come around. Because security's got to go. And now your cleaning lady, she's been intimidating some of the tenants here because they give complaint that the hallways are dirty. If something's dirty, clean it. They don't clean it for weeks. And when we go to the office, the security, not security, it's a cleaning lady comes up to one of the tenants and intimidates her because she went to the office. That's not right. Yesterday, I had a sign up because if they push the red thing on the door, the alarm goes on. They were cleaning the room, the floor. She took this off the wall and left it on the floor, out of the window. You know, you don't do that. There's a sign for a reason. So I had to come down at 10 o'clock, close the door because the alarm was going crazy. Okay? Then I understand he's busy sometimes and he's tired. He's got to rest. It was around 9:30, 10 o'clock. But by her taking that sign off the door, that's not right. And intimidating people that live here, elderlies, the one that they threw her out of Adams and they sent her here. And that's not right. Every time they send somebody here, they don't want them someplace else and we're stuck with them. And that's not a good thing. And I had another one. Let me see the other one. Oh, they're throwing bottles out the window to the people that are sitting on the benches. That's not good either. They could hurt somebody. You know, that's gotta stop. And but it's okay.
Tell you to write it down.
Yeah. Anyway, when you were talking about the outside, they had a good idea, but the only thing that's no good for that is the bike lanes. Because these people on bikes don't respect nobody. They go through red lights, through stop sign, they don't even stop for traffic. So why should we give them 2 bike lanes and make the street look shorter so there could be more traffic? That's not gonna work for us, because there'll be beeping horns all day long. Ambulance trying to get through, and that's not right either. So that's about it for today. And I thank you all for listening and coming down here.
Thank you.
And I thank you for the paperwork that's coming. We're all happy.
Thank you. Next is Ramona Diaz.
Could you just spell your name for the record?
Yes, good evening. My name is Ramona, R-A-M-O-N-A-D-I-A-Z. I'm an tenant here at Fox Hill. I would like to bring to your attention the tenants who does craft and decoration for their enjoyment in this community. This community room is rented by management to tenants at $100, no senior, $35, senior. The issue that has come up is that the renting individual requests the already in place craft and decoration to be removed due to their guests damaging it. Therefore, anyone renting this community room is responsible for their guest conduct. It is not just to tenants who come down as a way of releasing their stress, socialize, and not isolate. Please demonstrate politeness and respect, regardless of age or circumstance. This is not just about manners. It is about building a bridge, not a wall. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Mike Mulcahy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
Could you just spell your name for me, please?
Okay.
Could you spell it?
M-U-L-C-A-H-Y.
H-Y?
They just came up here to say they did a nice job on the floors this time. And there's one other thing that I have a problem with. You're charging us $75 if the bug man or anybody else comes to our doors and we're not home. Well, we gotta go to doctors and stuff like that. They don't give us the time to be here. Like the last time for the inspections, they didn't show up. So we all sat home like an idiot. And now you're saying $75 we gotta pay. I don't understand that.
Thank you, Mike.
The next one is the Sabanca Peguero.
Could you just spell your name for me, please?
Jovankapegueros. My question is, I have a 12 years old upstairs, and the day of the exterminator, I was doing laundry, and they were knocking on the door, but she didn't open because Mr. Ricker said, if our door is not there, they should not come in. And my daughter got scared, and she was on the room, and now I got a bill, $75 to pay it, because I didn't let them get in. But I was in the building, I was doing laundry, and my daughter was upstairs. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peguero.
You know, party.
The next person is Eileen I'm sorry,
As she comes up, I'd like to make a note that Jean Rodriguez joined the Zoom at about 7:20.
Okay.
Could you just spell your name for me, please?
EILEENHUEL. B as in boy, I, G as in girl. Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First of all, the security guards, they hang out and they don't do their job. They mingle with the mail, okay, and they're getting paid for occupying space, okay. That's for round one. Round two, you also have nurses' aides, or whatever you want to call them, okay, sitting on their fat derriere, okay, in the laundry room, and nothing gets accomplished with that, okay? That's that, okay? Now, I have a question, okay? You have, in other words, the painters are coming to paint, right? Okay. Now, they're supposed to come Monday?
Tuesday.
Monday's a holiday.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay, Tuesday, thank you. Okay, I'm just curious, okay? I was gonna ask you another question, I forgot. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I have a question. This is gonna be a question directed at you, the director, okay? All right, I've been asking about a fire department, first aid, and police department to tell us what it is we're supposed to do in case of preventing, okay? You can, I don't know if you know, but you can do the Heimlich maneuver by yourself, but they have to show you how to do it, okay? This is all safety, okay? And I think something, well, it would be nice to be informed. Okay, and that's what I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Manuel Rivera Soler.
No, it's okay. You couldn't stop there. Okay, that's it. No, it's very good.
Buonasera a tutti, buon mes della cultura, patrimonio italoamericano. Feliz mes de la herencia hispana y latina. I will summarize, if you would allow, Madam Chair, it's just Happy Italian American Heritage Month and Happy Hispanic Latino Month to all of the residents of the Housing Authority and of course to the Hoboken public in general. It is always important to note when we have moments where we can share culture with each other, and of course I've always said it in the past that the Italian American and the Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month intertwine, but it's because of our love for each other, but it's because of certain independent days for certain Latin American countries. So, with that having been said, Madam Chair, I would like to say some expressions before. I would just like to ask questions on 2025-10.3. With this resolution, you are paying a work that has been done on these different sections of this boiler on 320 Marshall Drive, or is this a contract that you are going to approve for the work? And if so, what are the inconveniences that will occur and how long would they last to the residents? And if not, what is the best outcome for no further leaks? Anyway, I proceed with 2025-10.5. That one, I would like to also connect it to 2025-10.0 in regards to this resolution to amend and approve budget. That's how it's written. Where is it being amended? What are you amending? How does it affect the budget in general? And how does it affect the second one that I mentioned, the 2025-10.06, and when you finalize this budget for the capital budget program. And also, full disclosure, I might not be able to stay for the complete answer. I will watch it due to that we are in political season, and you would know what I mean by that. I am a candidate. But also, the concerns that were brought up, I was sitting in the back listening to the residents, especially of this property. The concern about safety and the security guards should be paramount. It should be addressed as soon and as swiftly as possible. And I would also hope that some consideration and concessions be made to those with legitimate exceptions to the fee that they are being subject to for the $75. And lastly, last night at the council meeting, there was a resident, not of this property, but of another property that was very passionate and very upset about a resident, pardon me, a family member or a sister or something. I couldn't get the complete details, but they were upset that someone came to visit them and their car was towed. Of course, you must hear that 1,000 times. But they claim, that's their claim, not mine, that there were no proper signage and no effort made to identify who the car belongs to, which I'm sure that's perhaps not your job, but if more signage could be placed, I'm sure that would alleviate that hostility and that anger from residents in your complex. And with that, I appreciate your attention, and I say God bless you all, and God bless the residents of the Hoboken Housing Authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. You have to
And also to you.
Thank you. Patricia Waiters?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Patricia Waiters, 15 Church Towers. Just a few things. I took out my precious time to come and thank you, Mr. Recco, really following up on our conversation with respect to the debate that's coming up. I really appreciate you doing that. You don't know how big that means to me, what big of a deal it means to me. I'm the underdog. I have no money, and I count on these debates to hear from the residents to see what I could do if I do become their next mayor. So that's huge, and I really appreciate it. And that also shows that you have respect for your residents so they could be a voice that night and raise concerns of any matters or issues they're having with the housing authority. That's great. Great work is done. I told you that. I don't always stand up here with nothing negative. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. And also, hearing your report, as the director, you have came a long way. I'm going to be honest. You saved me a lot of energy from coming up here. You came a long way. I'm looking at your facilities. I'm a nosy body. When they showed a picture of the deteriorating building, like on the sixth, I think it is the 6th floor down, you went right at it. You was on point, and I made sure, because I got off work and went around there to check to see that you do it, and you did it. So addressing, I wrote a few things down from off your agenda that I hope this board collaborate with you with respect to crumbling infrastructure and devastating things that happen like that. Even with the issues with something simple as mice and the wear and tear, sometimes an emergency so you can prevent a collapsed building or whatever, you took action. And I wish this board worked with you on any type of grants or money they could get immediately to improve those type of things, okay? The infrastructure here is hundreds of years old, we all know that. But I hope your trustees work with you, your commissioners, on situations like that. That's very serious. All right, and one of the young ladies that spoke tonight, I definitely had a conversation with her about something as simple as removing designs or whatever else. This is home for some of these seniors. I mean, I'm a senior citizen now, so I get so sentimental with this. This is their home. Whatever enjoyment or little things they could get, collaborate, work together, and that'll help a lot. It will help 100% instead of always bickering and back and forth with each other. That also when public safety play a big role. Back in the days, it was community policing. The residents got together and do our own citizen arrest. We stick together, we have each other's back, and you don't have to worry about Hoboken PD and Kenneth Ferranti and everybody else. It ain't about sicking the cops on each other, it's about working together as a team and keeping each other safe. If I hear something strange in the hall, I'm popping my nose out there and see what's going on. So they could community police or keep themselves safe amongst each other. These was a lot of questions at the debate, and that's throughout the whole Hoboken. We could help each other. Back in the day, I was an officer for 17 years, and I believe, the sole believer, in the officer next door properties. You can have an officer living in your building and help them, give them a little cut on their rent or whatever. But we had the officer next door program, the community policing, working together as citizens and residents, working together instead of complaining with each other. It'd be small, minute stuff that you could resolve among yourself. But again, I'm here and I want to thank you for everybody that come to you and ask to do an intake form. You've been great with that too. You give me time, you hear, as long as it ain't between 12 and 1. Many a days I stood out there and waited till you finish lunch, but I appreciate you working with me, working with these tenants on all matters of concern. I really appreciate that. Thank you, because I volunteer out of the goodness of my heart. Thank you.
Carmen, now.
Sure.
Could we get your turn?
Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things I wanted to mention was that today at the mailroom, I had to call the police and file a report because the package was stolen. I'm not the only person that's had the package stolen. I'm pretty sure there's very few people that have packages stolen, but they don't go a step further, you know, calling the police, reporting it, going to the office, because in reality, if they catch somebody in cameras, then that's the person that you're gonna go to court with. That's the bottom line. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's $2, $5, $10, it doesn't, you didn't order it and it's not your name. So why are you taking people's packages? And if you didn't order anything, why are you looking through the packages? I mean, it's getting out of hand, and I had that conversation with Lydia, and I had it with Danny as well. We had a conversation on that. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that on the 6th floor of the compactor where I live at, somebody's been throwing some rice and beans without no garbage bags, nothing, just throwing it there. And when I come at night, I'm throwing out my garbage and I run into it and I try to wipe it and clean it and throw it out, because what are you gonna do? But notices have to go out for that, as far as the packages, as far as the, you know, compactor, not keeping it clean like they should. I thought we were over this problem, but then again, we're back at it again. Another thing I want to mention about security, where are we going with the security? There's no show half of the time, nobody's here, and I know because I see it in my camera, because they have to go through all the floors, so I don't see too many people going on my floor, security people, so that's going on, that's not good. Another thing is about the $75, okay. I don't know how this happened, but usually I'm always in my house with my mom. It could have been a day that I either took my mother to the doctors, or I was not home and took my mother to the doctors, or I was in my mother's room with her, or I had the door locked on the top because my mother has a little bit of dementia and I have to be careful with her roaming the hallways or whatever. And thank God that has not happened, because I'm like Fort Knox. I'm really, you know, it's down packed in my house. But, you know, I would like that to look into that, because it's unfair to, you know, to pay the $75. But if that's what it is what it is, Mr. Record. I have, you know, I'm just letting you know what happened with me. And I know that a lot of people don't have $75 to pay, a lot of seniors. Another thing that I recall was, at the time when I was president, the conversation was that seniors here in Fox Hill, the senior buildings, they were gonna pay for the parties $35. I know that Ramona came up and she said something about regular $100 and seniors $35. My understanding that this building, the agreement was $35, because downtown they wanted $150. Then they had another meeting that they wanted $50, and I said, Danny Perez, I said, that's a lot of money for the seniors that live here. So the agreement was $35, so we need to check that out as well. The balcony in my house, as I step out, it has, by the wall is inducted, so it feels like, dirt is coming out of it, it has to be fixed. And there's other things that I wrote down here, but other things, I guess, is something else that I would have to speak with you in private, Mr. Recco. Because there was an incident that was told to me, and it was very alarming. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna go speak with Lydia. When I speak with Lydia, most likely I'll tell Danny to be there in the office as well, and we'll discuss this matter that I found out, because it's very alarming. And I think that what happens here with the seniors is that a lot of women that live here by themselves, when something happens, they're afraid to take action. So what do? We have to advocate for them. Let them know that it's okay. You can always call me if you feel threatened or whatever. Pat is there. That's what we do, Mr. Recco. Besides doing this, we advocate for people. And I love to do that, helping people just to make them at ease with themselves. So thank you, and Madam Chairman, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, resolution number 2025-1001, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to approve meeting minutes for September 11, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Questions, concerns? Call it.
David Edwards. Aye. Anthony Forbes.
Aye.
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford. Erica Seitzman.
Aye.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1002, resolution authorizing the payment of monthly list of bills for the Hoboken Housing Authority.
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns? I think he has a question. Do you have a question?
No, I said I can't remember if I did or not.
Okay. Okay, he does it. So, yeah.
David Edwards. Aye. Anthony Forbes.
Aye.
Barbara Reyes.
Aye.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford. Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1003, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to award a contract to reseal and replace 8 sections in leaking boiler at 320 Marshall Drive.
Motion. Motion.
I would like to respond to a question that there will be no inconvenience. We will be keeping the alternative boiler going while this repair work is going on, so we don't expect any reduction in heat whatsoever.
Great. There's no question, call the vote.
David Edwards. Aye. Anthony Forbes.
Aye.
Barbara Reyes.
Aye.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford. Erica Seitzman.
Aye.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1004, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to award a contract for the provision of the delivery and installation of dumpster enclosures.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Questions, concerns?
I just want to say how excited I am.
We're finally there.
We've been working on this with the city for a long time, so it's great.
Great. Director, call the vote.
David Edwards.
Aye.
Anthony Forbes.
Aye.
Barbara Reyes.
Aye.
Jean Rodriguez.
Aye.
James Sanford. Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1005, resolution by the Commissioners of the Hoboken Housing Authority amending an approved budget.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Questions, concerns?
No, should we address the question?
Would you please? Yeah.
This resolution was actually presented at the September meeting and was approved there, but it was approved without the bottom half of the page. And our key accountant in conversations indicated that additional information was required by the state of New Jersey. So it's just clarification information that needed to be added, but we needed to then come back to you. As far as the changes are concerned, the top half is a change of $4,276 in the budget. It was some minor tweaks to the management fee that's charged to Fox Hill and the bookkeeping fee. And the numbers, once it was looked at, was realized they needed to be $4,276 different than what the original budget was. But because that budget had been presented to the board back in June, we had to file a resolution to note the difference. The next resolution, which is about to come up, 1006, is needed because now that we've approved that there's a change to the budget, we now actually have to officially approve the budget. So it's more procedure. There's nothing new in 06 that's not in 05. It's just, you've got to do 05 first. It says you amend it. Once you've amended it, you've got to say that you approve it. Anything else you'd add, Director? Or?
Nope, I think that's very clear, very minor. Yes, no changes, actually, very minor.
Does anyone have any questions? Director, call the vote.
David Edwards.
Aye.
Anthony Forbes.
Aye.
Barbara Reyes.
Aye.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford, Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1006, resolution adopting the annual and capital budget program for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026.
Motion. Second.
Again, I would just say here, this exact resolution was approved in September. We've got to reapprove it because of 05. And I know there was a question about the capital budget. I'm not sure what the question was. It's 2.5 million was what it was before and what it is now.
It's the same. I don't think there's been any change in the capital budget.
No, there hasn't, so I'm not sure what else we can answer. It's the amount that's calculated based on looking at what we need and what's approved by HUD.
That's correct. And not so much what we need, but what's approved by HUD.
That's sorry, yes. And again, it's the same exact number that was in the September resolution. This amendment, the only difference between this and what you approved in September is at the top it's 2025 10.06 rather than 2009-05. I mean, it's the exact same resolution.
Yep. Questions, concerns? Director, call the vote.
David Edwards.
Yes.
Anthony Forbes.
Yes.
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford. Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Okay. Director, I know that I said at the beginning that we were enforcing some new rules in reference to your report. I just have some comments or questions that I'd like to ask and also speak on some of the stuff that was brought up during public portion. So in your report, you stated about the meeting that happened here at Fox Hills with the county and so forth. I was wondering if in the future, would it be possible for you to let the commissioners know that these meetings are happening? I think it's important for us to know. I don't think that other than Ms. Vega, who's a resident here, knew about this meeting, any commissioner here. And I know that personally there would be a few that would have liked to have participated, even if it was just to listen in and hear the concerns of the residents.
I would like to apologize for that. So we will make double sure that that message gets out to each commissioner.
May I? I only found out because Nora saw me in the hallway and she mentioned it to me. I didn't have no idea. If not, I would have made that call.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do better.
I also wanted to state that, you know, this right here, what happened here tonight with a lot of the residents coming up and consistently talking about security, Director, you know, I think I've made it very clear that we are not happy as commissioners with the job that the security has done all around. And I'm speaking for myself. Let me rephrase that. Let me not say all commissioners, you guys can speak, you know, for yourselves. But me personally, as a resident and living here and near the buildings that they're at, and I know I voiced it to you several times, and I know that there's something in place. I can assure you that the director is working to make sure that we have new security and people who are doing their job, because our concern is obviously you guys being safe. The reason, first of all, it's the reason why they're here. So, again, it's just frustrating because it's been months and months
I've got some good
of
news.
this same. Sure.
We've got some good news,
Okay.
and it should have been in my report.
Okay.
The new security company is starting November 3rd.
Wow.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, because I thought
Yeah.
we approved it.
We did approve it, we've got the
I guess
contract,
this is
we've
good
signed
news,
them.
but
So,
this is good news, and I just want to assure the residents that it is so important for you guys to continue to come to these meetings and voice your concerns. And to understand that maybe it's not being fixed right away, but it's not falling on deaf ears. Sometimes it just takes a little longer for us to be able, or for the director to be able to correct the problem. So I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of that. And then my next comment, again, it was in regards to the public portion and the fees for the extermination. I can see how frustrating it is for a senior citizen who's living on a fixed income. To get charged $75 is a lot, first of all. It's a lot. Working in the work that I do in social services, we have major food insecurities. We have so many insecurities nowadays, period, with everything that's going on. I really think that we, or director, you as the administrator, we need to come up with something better, because a lot of these instances, we cannot tell a senior, you cannot go to a doctor's appointment because today is extermination day.
yeah, understood.
And seniors, I know us younger people are very, how can I say it? A lot of people don't like strangers in their apartments, right? I'm personally one that I don't care. I don't have a problem with housing coming in and doing their extermination or any work, but I understand that seniors can sometimes be, it's a little harder for them to be confident and allow people to come in. So I think we have to come up with a better solution, even if it's just in the senior buildings or for seniors in general, right? Because when I say seniors, we cannot forget that we have seniors in the family buildings as well.
That's right.
So I think we have to come up with something where it's fair to everyone. And I know that seniors, not that they, for instance, I'm gonna say this. When they're late with their rent, they don't get charged the late fee, right? Because we understand, right? And that's been for years. Maybe we can implement something like that. And I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. Let me make sure that everybody knows that. But I'm just giving ideas that maybe this is something that we could also implement for the seniors, because living on a fixed income today is hard enough. So those are just my comments. I don't know if anyone else on the board has questions, concerns. Now it's your time to.
Can I respond to that?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
One last thing. Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that first of all, I hear you. I hear you on the extermination, and we'll take a strong look at that. Our balance there is that we need to be in every unit every month. We need to. And scheduling with an exterminator that we pay for, that then we pay for a second visit, whatever. So, but I hear you, and yes, there's a way we can work something out. I'm sure there is. So we'll continue to talk to you, and I do want to say that we'll work on this, and we are having our meet and greet here on October 22nd at 2:00 p.m. So my quarterly meeting with you, so we'll go over all of these issues with you at Fox Hill 2 when we do our meet and greet on October 22nd. October 22nd, 2:00 p.m. You'll be getting the notices soon. So thank you, but thank you.
And one last thing, and I know Commissioner Edwards and myself were speaking about this because we've heard from residents. As you mentioned, Mannequin is the new company that's going to be doing our leases. And I'll be honest with you, I think the way it was brought to the residents as a whole, caught the residents off guard. We have to remember that not all residents come to these meetings, that they join us on Facebook, and I know that we speak about it a lot. But if you're not involved, you don't know about it. And I know I've had several residents who were confused. What does this mean? Are we on a voucher system now? What, you know, so I think we should have done a better job educating our residents before just implementing it and putting it out there. I did see that there was a letter sent out afterwards explaining, and I appreciate that because I did get one on my door. I'm not sure if everybody else did, but there was a letter. The fact of the matter is the letter went out after, I guess, residents received information from the company. So I think we just have to be a little bit more mindful on educating, and maybe when things like this are gonna happen, the prior month when you're doing your meet and greets, maybe that could be the topic, right? Where, look, this is a new company. It doesn't mean that you're on a voucher. Nothing is changing other than this company is going to be handling your leases, and you have to submit your information to them, and they will be, and it's okay to submit the information, because some people are afraid. They don't even know who this company is. So they're like, who is this and why am I giving them my information? So that was it. Commissioner Edwards, do you have anything else to say?
I heard exactly the same thing from several people, so it's just.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was it. I know Frank, you had something.
Yeah, I just have a message from Yesenia. She wanted me to make sure that I pass this along. So 500 families received or will be receiving a letter either today or in the next couple of days. So that is a big chunk. To your point, that's a lot of families that are going to receive something. So the message to those families is this. You can respond. There's going to be an email on the letter, and you can respond directly to the email to Nan McKay. Nan McKay is going to be the company who's going to be handling your research. You can email the main office. There's another avenue where you can contact Yesenia or Jimena at the main office, or last but not least, you can stop at the main office. And finally, you can still go to your manager. If the process, because not everybody, and to Barbara's point, not everybody's technologically either available or ready, and we're all in different levels of that, and we must be mindful and respectful of that. So if you are uncomfortable with any part of the process, know that there are avenues for you to still get the help that you need, but understand that the goal and the final thing is to get us all compliant. Once we get these files reviewed by Nan McKay, there's going to be questions. Families are going to have questions. So
They should come into the meeting, is what I wanted to say.
Not everybody has that luxury, though.
Okay. Explain it to them.
And we'll continue to roll out as much education as we can, and I do encourage folks to go see their managers with questions as well. We've had a number of people at the office as well, so we're aware of the problem. We've been explaining it to folks. Thank you.
Madam?
Yes.
What I wanted to say, Mr. Reck, was that perhaps in a meet and greet, you could lecture them on it, you know, at least.
We will.
And yes, I'll be here for that, definitely.
Yeah.
And I had a class on that today. I have a headache.
We'll give you a headache.
Yes.
What you're talking about.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Did we get briefed on the, I think in the management report about the lockouts and how much we're doing with tenants account receivable?
Just Ms. Villafane wasn't here today. I know that there's a report in here that would tell you, I guess, how much. Am I right? Am I correct?
Well, I could give you a little bit of.
Well, just to say, I think we need to do more, again, when we talk about when the meet and greets, do we need to do more outreach or understanding them? And I know people should have to know you have to come, and if you need a repayment agreement, you don't go to Nan McKay, you go and talk to your manager, right? Or you come to the main office.
Thank you, for that. Yes, Nan McKay will only be processing your annual recertification. They will not be talking to you about late rent or about repayments. If you have if you're late on your rent, as we've said every meeting, we're always still open for repayment agreements. Please come to the main office. We'll be glad to sit with you and work it out. If you have already entered into a repayment and you've defaulted, unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves in court. And to your question, we have 18 families in the queue right now for that next set of families that are going to be going to court. At any point before the actual court date, should they show up or have the full amount, we could always resolve the issue in person. But that is something that's going to continue, and what the director was talking about before is that starting in January, we're going to be doing a huge push on outreach, and one of the topics is going to be about rent, because unfortunately, rent is going to be a very important part of the redevelopment, right? You know, you can't have residents not paying rent, and unfortunately, it just doesn't. It comes up. There does come a point where it doesn't work out, and unfortunately, we've reached that point some time ago. But HUD continues to work with authorities, and we will continue to work with families. And as you've seen, our goal is not to evict folks. But have we had to evict a few families? It has happened. And are there going to be some more families coming? Unfortunately, yes. But please know that at any turn, still go to the city, because the city has found ways to help families. Continue to go to Hopes, continue to come to the main office, have a conversation with us, because the worst thing that can happen is not to communicate with each other. Once we don't communicate, and what we find ourselves is in court, the only thing that the court will require is money, and that's the only way out of it. So please, our doors and our phones continue to be open to you on that topic.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, one more thing I wanted to add. Mr. Rick, one of the things that I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention last time, was that some of the tenants, like if they come to fix something in their house, that it was not caused by them, they're getting charged. And that's something that meet and greet could be done at, those questions.
Well, thank you for that, and we've actually, I'm glad you mentioned, we've been working on that at the office. Because we did find that in reviewing all of our work orders, that some of our maintenance guys were charging for things that were really wear and tear, and vice versa, they weren't charging. So we're instituting a new procedure where both maintenance and management on a weekly basis take a look at the work orders for the week and say, okay, what was charged and what wasn't, and this is a charge, or should have been a charge, or that should have been a charge. So we're hoping to see some improvement in there.
That's great.
But I also want to say that anyone, like the fine lady that got up and spoke earlier, if you think there was an unfair charge, we talked before the meeting, come and see your manager. We will adjust it if it's true. Right? If it's true. Now, if your boyfriend put his fist through the door, that's another question. But
not a good example.
No, talking about the rest of our
not a good one, but a real one.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah, and so again, come and see your manager, communicate with your manager, and we will. I think we're very, very fair in taking things off that weren't supposed to be a charge. But we do understand, I do understand that there was some problem there, and we've been working on trying to resolve that problem.
Yeah, my dad had one.
Thank you, Director. Before we close, Commissioner Forbes, on behalf of the maintenance supervisor, he wants to thank you for your remarks as far as the grounds and what you stated about the grounds. I kind of say the same thing as Commissioner Forbes. I live there. We're not perfect. We don't have a full staff, but I see these guys day in, day out, working hard, sometimes till 8, 9 o'clock at night. So you do gotta give, we may not always be happy, but we do have to give credit where it's due. So thank you. If there's no more questions, can we just have motion to close? Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Thank you.